Hello, my fellow full of the samurai players, Zaript here, with a game between PointMan and Gigi on Hidden Mountains, and this is quarterfinals of Quick and Dead tournament number 3. And okay, I already showed you a game of semifinals between PointMan and Prussian Prince, and I have more, but I'm not sure I will cast them. But this one is kind of interesting. Well, let's start with a little trick PointMan uses. He shows his general just to make Gigi guess where is his army, actually in this forest or in this one. And then he shows his army. This is something you probably seen on my channel already. Very similar build was used by Prussian Prince in Agony on 1 Championship on the second group stage. 3 Shogitais, in this case 2 of them rank 2, 1 of them rank 4, 2 spear levies, both vanilla, and a lot of cavalry. But cavalry is different this time. PointMan have 4 Yariki, at least level 6 each, and 1 of them level 7, I guess, yes. Shogun Guard Cavalry level 3 and 2 vanilla revolvers. I want to remind you that this is a new patch. Tournament was played in a new patch. So this Yariki 100 more expensive. So 3 Yariki is 400 more expensive, and that is 1 whole spear levy. But 2 revolver cavalry are 200 less expensive. So overall, and 3 Shogitai is 150. So overall, this build is, let me think, 350 koku more expensive than it was before. Now let's take a look at Gigi composition. So this is line and spear heavy build. Let's see how many. If I remember correctly, he have 2 Yarikachi, both with 1 upgrade, morale it seems. Yeah, morale. 2 spear levies, both vanilla. Okay, so 4 spears here. Now for cavalry, he have 2 sabre cavalry level 2. Very nice units in the new patch because they are much faster than they were before. 4 Yariki level. 2 of them level 2, 1 of them level 7, and 1 more level 4. So randomly vetted. And his line is 1 red beer, 2nd red beer, something hidden I didn't watch. Royal Marines 150 range, and Shinsegumi Police Force. Interesting unit, I should say. But the problem with it, stat-wise, it's okay. It has good morale, good melee stats, good reload and accuracy. Well, not good, but decent, like red beer. But it's purely defensive unit. If you know for certain that you will be melee rushed, you can use it, I guess. But it's very difficult to use offensively, so I guess maybe it will find its place as a flanking unit. Now, the reason I want to show you this game is, well, PointMan talks about this game in very simple terms. Well, as you can see, he is starting, and because of all this cavalry, Gigi doesn't know how to react, and he already pushed so far away from the dojo. You see, just because PointMan created a thread here behind the hill, so Gigi kinda have to pull back, otherwise he will have will be surrounded. And now PointMan uses his revolver cavalry to shoot this spear levy that cannot shoot back. And the thing is, how PointMan explained this game. He used something he called Valkyrie strategy. Just attack with all you have on one flank. Never attack on the front. Well, that's understandable. But I think there is a little bit more to it. Maybe idea was simple, but you will see that in the end it ended up as a very interesting strategy, and I think it might be even stronger if you complicate it a little bit. So far, these 2 revolvers decimated this spear levy, and it might seem like a waste of ammo, but if you think about it, right now Gigi have 4 spear units, and PointMan have cavalry heavy build, so getting rid of the spears is a very important thing for PointMan. And now look what is happening. This is a very important. At the beginning, PointMan, by creating a threat here, PointMan forced Gigi to get a little bit away from the dodger. And because Gigi fallen back to his deployment zone instead of going like here, now PointMan switched here, pushed here, and look at what's happening suddenly. Using this sword dodger as a pivot point, I don't know how intentional it was, but now, without being shot at, these units got here, and suddenly, look, there is no easy way for Gigi to get these units into the fight. Look, this spear levy, this Shinsengumi police force, this red beast, they all far away. And now suddenly, even the front of a Gigi became kinda very narrow. And let me slow this down while this Miller Rush going to connect. And two Yariki 6, level 6 and 7 here. And all other cavalry here. What happened? Basically, Gigi's, this become Gigi's flank. And this become his front. And getting units here was very fast for PointMan. It's kind of easy, and Gigi could have predicted it, but he didn't react in time. He didn't start to move his line to get around. And now, look, instead of an shooting arc, he has some sort of waves, but they in complete disarray, because it's not front against front, but front against flank. And I think with an army like this, Duck does it a lot. I think you can force your opponent to something like this. But now let's take a closer look at the game. Now this revolver cavalry come very close. And I think it's easier to use revolver cavalry with a melee rush than with a line heavy build. Just because revolver cavalry need something to stop a line of opponent from shooting. So, and what can do it better than a melee rush? Gigi now have to choose. He either shoot at Shogitais or at this revolver cavalry. And both forces are equally strong. Now here on this flank, cavalry of Gigi is much weaker than this cavalry of PointMan. And there were spear levies, but they were depleted and now they destroyed. On this flank, well, PointMan just charged into two Yariki, stronger ones, and this spear levy, you see, actually, it is wavering. So two Yariki with Shogun Guard Cavalry can scare spear levy. And as you can see, Gigi trying to use his saber cavalry to get the general of PointMan. And here, it's kinda close, you see, but surprisingly, Royal Marines of Gigi doesn't really shoot. And Gigi does a nice thing here, you see, he managed to get one of his saber cavalry in this Shogitais. He chose the right target, but here you see, he mismicroed this one. He just put it here and didn't charge in. Now this revolver cavalry decimating it, and now it's kinda over. This spear levy in the end didn't rout, but I don't know, I think here PointMan could have played a little bit better, not charging in this spear levy because they weren't that dangerous. There was enough room to flank around and hit from the back, but it still went very well. Very, very well. And of course there was some sloppiness in Gigi plays this time, and not an optimal units, I think. Well, Shinsengumi Police Force actually was a decent unit for such a map, if he used it. I don't know. The thing is, I want you to take this in mind and think about how this maneuvering happened. this cavalry like fluid, going from one side to another, and you cannot change positioning of your lines in such a fluid motion as the positioning of your cavalry. So it's kind of, you need to have some sort of a front. And in the end, because of all this movement, PointMan found the moment, found the direction to run and to charge in such a way that only 2 units were shooting at him. Only 2 units instead of a wide arc. Well, let's take a fast look at the final statistics. And I'm surprised this revolver cavalry 186. Oh, man, one of them have very interesting stats. Nice game, and I understand that you don't need to overcomplicate things. PointMan did use a very simple idea: attack only on a flank, attack with all forces on one flank, and he didn't. He didn't overcomplicate things like I did, but I kind of want to understand why it did go so well this time, because I don't want to get random results. I want to see some meaning, and maybe I will find some way to use this strategy more consistently. Okay, and as you can see, PointMan was super effective. At least 2 times more effective than Gigi, maybe even 2.5. He deployed 300 men less. Okay, let's... 222 for revolver cavalry. And in the end he charged in a melee and almost identical XP here. Okay, Yariki, Shogitai. Well, very nice effectiveness. This is probably the units that didn't... Oh no, even they, you see, they didn't kill much, but they didn't die. So, devastating... you can't call it devastating victory, right? Devastating loss for Jigs, but it's more of a great play by PointMan this time. He was certainly in shape on that day. And Gigi, surprisingly, he did have some waves, but his Royal Marines didn't shoot at all. And that's why I kind of dislike Hidden Mountains. Terrain is so tricky. I still didn't figure out that map, and there is some spots in the middle where line infantry always backs, even if it has line of sight, seemingly. In the end, it doesn't. Well, Sabre Cavalry did okay, I guess, and well, Shinsegumi Police Force didn't do that well. But I want you to play with this idea. Revolver cavalry with a melee rush, because if you think about it, how would you use revolver cavalry with a line heavy build? You can't sneak it closer when 2 line fronts shoot at each other. If you think about it, how do you sneak it? You will get under the bullets. But with a melee rush, when your opponent either got into melee or forced to retreat, you actually can get with your revolver cavalry very close and shoot. Okay then, that's all for today. Thank you for watching. See you later.